Okay, so here we go. We're gonna do another game replay here. We got another 2v2, um, and the game's up and running here. Let's remove the fog of war. Let's take a look here. What's going on? As ever, I'll go 2-speed just to keep the action flowing, unless it gets super hectic. Let's see what Germans are doing. They're on the edge of base. Always like to see that. Oh, these guys want weapon support rather than barracks, so they're going to go machine guns, mortars. And both sides pushing out. Ooh, this guy's getting advanced. Why is he not taking that point yet? Is he just observing? Weird. Some harassing fire. I'm going to drop it down single speed here, folks, because it's going to be a lot going on. I can already tell a lot of maneuver fighting taking place across the front. So a lot of contested fighting over this area here. Both sides, machine guns, vehicles, squads. Germans were pushed out of this sector and taking it back. These guys, odd. Oh, they're taking it now. I was going to say. So mortars, machine guns, vehicles. So much of the game with the good fighters is based around fighting from cover, putting troops in cover. These guys not long for this world. Determined play from the Allies there to take the point off the Germans, but the Germans will recover that in a moment. And recover this, I think. Okay. Wow, pushing across a wide front. The Allies blocked off this sector here. Interesting. It's going to allow fighting to envelop in this space more. We've got more vehicles on the go. Both sides in cover here. That green indicating cover, so your troops take less damage if you're in the cover there. Allies, where's the other mortar? Let's have a look. I did see a mortar. They lost it. Here's the mortar. Now, do either side have the medical facilities up yet? Not as far as I can see. Allies took this area back here.
Casualties being reported.
Never convinced about these vehicles that have the MGs aboard, but at best only an average player, so who am I to judge? Right, so we got these guys stealing this point. Mortars harassing fire on that side. Germans right now being pushed back, but up here they've launched a counterattack. Did they cut through here? They cut through here. Okay, interesting. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
Initiating
Allies made a push. I've got supporting units here. Machine guns, twin mortars. It's going to be rough for the Germans. Ouch. Laying mines here. Interesting. Germans just on their heels at the moment here, I would say. This is a interesting strategic reinforcement from the Allies just down in this dip for the mortars. This machine gun's pointing the wrong way now. Good, interesting move from the Germans there that caused the Allies to change their emphasis a little bit. German vehicle got away without much problem there. What do we got? Machine gun nest, mines being laid. Mines being laid. Oh, here we go, big fight going on here. Contest between the two forces. Actually more than two forces here, these are both allies working together. Nasty snipers.
Contact! Ground infantry!
Sniper here.
Observation posts report we are losing a sector. Enemy unit down.
Removing these mines. Germans kind of lost that contact, I feel. Allies held their ground.
Krauts are grabbing our territory.
Ah, look at this though. Good move from the Germans, sending a few scouty units out. Take a bit of territory. Americans keen to use this area here as their as a base of ops. And look at this, Germans doing well on the flanks. Not allowing it just to be a fight over ground in the middle. Drawing away some allied forces over here. At some point the Germans need to win some of these contacts, because if the Allies are strong here and you do flanking moves, you need to be winning these flanking moves. You don't want to end up losing them, losing troops and being pushed all the way back. That's being taken. That's being taken. That's going to be untaken for the time being. That's being taken. The Germans push all the way back to their base there, and being harassed here in the middle. Allies now using their fuel and ammo advantage to get some high level vehicles on. Okay, Germans have got more of a line of troops there and here. Got no real answer to the M8 though. Right now. They got their Shreks is all, really. That ain't gonna stand against the M8. It's gonna have to back out. Ooh, this is looking a bit rough for the Germans here. Ally not being aggressive with this M8, being cautious with it. Letting the Germans take that point. Odd.
Long-range artillery is standing by.
Two snipers here, that's nasty. 2v1. Mortars and kit. Ooh, what's this? Okay. Very dynamic fight going on here. Germans trying to sneak territory again. But the Germans have, right on the edge of their base, have lost this fuel point. It's rough. Germans have an AT gun now to try and deal with that M8. Americans have an AT gun to deal with nothing, because the Germans only have the vehicle nonsense, so... Germans really had to take this back because it's right on the edge of their base. Germans settling for anti-tank here to fend off vehicles, I believe. Americans sneaking this with infantry.
That's it. Construction finished.
M8's in trouble here. Backs off for repairs. Germans back off as well. Ooh, Stu on the field. AT on the field. What's coming out of here? Don't know yet.
Engineers ready for action. Construction is done. Good enough garbage.
Germans under pressure in this whole game, really. The Allies just having an edge for most of it, from what I've seen. And again, Germans just trying to recover areas they've lost. And it's reflected in the score here too. So,
Construction detail. Our work is done here.
M8's back harassing these infantry in the vehicle, in this building I should say. Need to get these guys out of there. Yeah, they do.
We hold the initiative. This
Two
way we'll be
artillery
taking Berlin by
pieces.
Christmas.
AT grouping here is going to come under pressure from the infantry if it's not careful.
And that's the ball game. Construction finished.
Yeah, had to back out of there.
Enemy unit down.
Artillery landing on the Americans.
Anti-tank, ready for order.
This is a different dynamic now. The Americans are suffering a bit like the Germans were suffering under those two mortars early game. The Americans now suffer from some of this artillery hit that's coming down on their line. Germans not far away from being able to bomb this area here with some of that artillery. Now let's see. Two snipers here. Nasty. Americans not going to get that sector, I think. A sniper in the house. Stu in the house. Is this? AT gun here doesn't have a view while the Stu stays hidden. Nice play. Where are those two German snipers? So these two guys are going to come in and start sniping this grouping here. American artillery.
They're hitting one of our forward emplacements, trying to take our territory.
And cut their way through here again.
Artillery support is now our forward emplacements, trying to take our territory.
Two tanks here. AT gun on the way. Not sure what these guys are doing here. They're going to cut through there. Americans have an artillery piece in their base. Yes, they do. That's the piece that's doing that damage. This machine gun nest's about to die.
They're hitting one of our forward emplacements, trying to take our territory.
Again, Germans just feels to me like Germans are under pressure in this game. Like 55% allies, 45% Germans through the period of the game.
Logistics claims they can support rapid deployment.
Germans very thin here on their right side. Wow.
Krauts are
Rough.
pounding the forward emplacement.
Americans using 2 artillery pieces. It's causing some pain for the Germans. Interesting. Right, what the Allies got here? They got mortar squad, fires, various groupings, machine gun squad. Oop. 2 tanks and artillery landing. Wow. This artillery is hurting the Germans. It really is. Don't think this is going to go well for the Americans here, though. I could be wrong. It's a bloody nose for the Americans. They took out the AT gun with snipers and then let the tanks go in. Nice move. Artillery counter though. Ugh. Wow, there's some rough stuff going on here. German hitting the Americans in the back here with this tank. This AT gun's hitting this one in the side. Bye-bye tank. Both these tanks are done for here. Now it's the Allies getting thin, although the Germans don't have a lot left. Don't have a lot left themselves. Germans pushed up here, so this is now first time in a while that this map got balanced out with sides evening up. These guys will die here unless they withdraw, and they do. Even then, they might not get away.
We're losing a sector.
Americans now up to 1, 2, 3 artillery pieces, so that's going to be very unpleasant for the Germans.
We defended the fatherland until death.
No hiding place with Calliops on the field as well now.
Veterans seek gain.
Where is the Calliope? Where is it? There it is. They need to kill that. Kill it now. Why run away? I don't really get that. I should have tried to kill it. Oh well. Fight goes on. Americans pushing out with a reasonable number, not powerful but numerous. And as I say, Germans now even the map up to a greater degree than they have for a while. This AT squad is in trouble here, they're going to get killed. Or their squad will, one or the other. These can't outrun these, so they're going to be in trouble. Ah, here come the snipers though. Why run away? Bizarre. Artillery being fired now, so the Germans have to clear out and run. Ah, rough stuff.
The Americans are capturing a sector.
Yep. Germans are paying horrific price now.
Americans are seizing territory from us.
Germans don't have a lot of manpower left here. They got a Stu and an AT gun. Is Stu going to chase these infantry out? I think somehow the Germans have to find a way of dealing with this artillery. What we got going on here? Just Volksgrens. Very early tier stuff still. What's this German advanced on? He's got his tank depot, Krieg barracks, and that unit. And his infantry. Oh, I'm going to go 2-speed now. Keep an eye on what's going on here. Oh. 8-wheeler tackling a tank. Interesting. Snipers. Moving around. More artillery. Rough.
We are losing territory.
Germans getting more vehicle based. Here comes some infantry though. Americans now pushing through the center. Are they really pushing though? They're just coming up to the line really. Defending the point here. Again, the Allies just pushing into the German lines. Axis on this side taking this stuff though. Balances it back out somewhat.
We have 300 points left.
Oh, there's a lot going on here, folks. A lot going on. This guy's taking the points. Allies will have to respond here to this.
But the grateful fatherland is one of our snipers on their run.
Allies still have more on the field by the look of this.
We have gained momentum on the field.
Firestorm, the Allied AT, does it kill it? Not yet. Nope, didn't kill it. Oh, tank battle going on here.
Heavy assault forces ready. Deploy at your convenience. Boat squad is down.
The thing I'd say is you can't just keep fighting with Volt squads because it's not going to go well for you if you just stick with Volt squads this late in game. Allies now have a tank force, 3 tanks plus artillery support. Allies have 2 8-wheelers and a tank. 4 tanks. It's coming up here. ATs. What's going on here? Laying mines, trying to catch the Allies out. Sniper's being chased by the Jeep. That's a bit rough. Oh, they killed that. American tanks in the base. Never good news. Yeah, this is not much use. Ah, nice use of artillery there. Actually cost the Allies. It was a bit expensive for the Allies. But it's still pushing here in the middle. They got the excess tanks. Tiger backing off, dealing with these M10s. I get a sense the German defense is getting a bit desperate here. A little bit of desperation creeping in. Not much left on the front line. A couple of vehicles here, and they got a machine gun and a tank on this side here. They did well to take this though. What's the score? Ah, Germans are winning by score. Interesting. Doing well to take down the American tanks here. Panthers chewing up these AT gun squads. Yeah, it's getting rough here.
Our forces are ready for blitzkrieg assault.
Getting really rough for the Germans. This artillery is soon going to be wrecking their base to the degree that it debilitates them properly. If it was to continue, that is. And map loss is starting to mount across the map here. This intrusion bulge, let's call it a bulge, is being held by the Americans at this point. Some complaints going on in the game about various things. Germans unable to take back any area here. They have to fight for ground that they hold, not take new ground.
Base is under enemy fire.
I was wrong before. I thought the Germans had the lead, but no, the Americans are leading in the game as well as territorially and in the contacts. So I'm not really seeing a way the Germans can get back in this one. I could be wrong. Ah, Knights Cross holders, okay. Better units would certainly be one way that they might contest things a bit more.
The enemy is attacking our Kamahati base.
It's rough though, look at this. Base isn't going to last long under this bombardment.
Our base is under attack. We have 200 points.
Yeah, it's getting rough.
The enemy advances.
Okay, got 2 sets of Knights Cross. That'll be rough for the Allies to deal with. Knights Cross going after the AT guns. Yeah, makes sense.
Americans are seizing territory from us.
Tiger, Panther.
They want to blitz our resources.
Tiger being killed. Chance to do something against the artillery here if they had a bit of ammo. Very thin. Germans struggling just to take back a bit of space here. It was a good attack, but let's see what we got here. Allies gone defensive somewhat. Didn't like being pushed back there. Germans holding this area here. So Germans have re-established their line on this side. Can they do it on the other? Yeah, it's gonna be rough against the Pershing. Yeah, they're re-establishing their lines using Knights Cross holders here, and again Knights Cross holders there. Allies pushing back into the centre again. That's not good. 2 AT guns v the Tiger. Not going to go well for the Germans there. Artillery coming in. Yeah, that's rough. It's just hard for the Germans to fight. King Tiger on the field. So Tiger, King Tiger. Knights Cross holders mullering some stuff here. They're going to need to retreat in a moment. Yep, there's the retreat. Bye-bye Pershing. What do we got here? Knights Cross holders being artilleried. That's rough. Germans have recovered their position slightly by unhooking the Americans in these two sectors. They still need the fuel and ammo back, so whether they can get them back during this offensive, an open question. Knight's Crossholder starting to take an effect in the game here. Down to 100 points.
Victory reserves stand at 100 points and dropping.
They are taking this ammo point.
The Americans are capturing the sector.
Panther being repaired over here. Knights Crossholders fighting off flaming infantry there. It's going to be a difficult one for them. But they have equalised the map up some more. In this contact, they need to win out in the battle so that they have an evening up of the numbers. Otherwise, they're just
We have only 50 points in reserve. This is on the attack.
Target destroyed.
interesting tactic. Interesting. They're going to try and jam up this side and secure it. Good move for the Germans, I would say, if they can pull it off.
We have only 25 points. We must turn the battle immediately.
Immediately. Last throw of the dice for the Germans. So they're taking this.
Unit down.
Depends if they can take this point or not to keep them in the game.
Americans are seizing territory from us.
So, the Axis do manage to stay in the game, and they've taken territory, and they've done relatively well pushing the Americans back.
The enemy has 300 points.
I'm not sure what the Americans have done here, but they're in spot and collar now. Don't really have much left on the field, oddly enough. Oh. Knights Crossholders couldn't quite stay there.
Panzer is down.
I'm assuming It's quite a wild game actually. I'm assuming that in the end the Allies just win out here, but hard to tell. Knights Cross holders. Yep, Flamers against Knights Cross holders works. One of the few things that does. Allies gaining this one, gaining that one. Fairly desperate fighting going on here. Oh. Knights Cross taking the point, I think. Yep, took the point. Interesting. Artillery doing it again. Germans trying to equalise the map up. Artillery's rough. Main gun out. AT guns. Bye bye Panther maybe. American sneaking the point. 8 points. 7 points. 6 points. 5 points. I think that's going to be it, sadly, for the Germans. And just there we go. In the end, the Allies prevailed. They had, I think they had the advantage through most of the game, and the artillery was probably the edge they needed. The Germans fought hard. There's no easy walk in the park for the Allies that game. The Germans made them work really hard for that.